Hi, I'm Joe, and I got started on some Christmas shopping this week, and then there weren't any videos, because my life got away from me. But I got a box in the mail. The November Dungeon in a Box has finally arrived. Looks like the box got a little bit crimped in the mail, but I'm so looking forward to this. I've been eager to have this Maze of the Leviathan. Ooh, I love the cover. Look at that. Oh, I think that whole thing's like a mouth and a whirlpool. Oh, excited for that. What do we got? Skeletal Champion. I love painting skeletons. Right now, I've probably got between half a dozen and a dozen painted skeletons that are just Shadow Eyes, Catfolk Rogue. That's cool too. Let's see. Glurm. Dwarven Skeletal Warrior. Glurm. Glurm. Alright. We got some skinny minis. What do these look like? Ooh, I see glowing greenness. Oh, that is some Ragnarok Fenris looking thing. Six-armed, possibly undead Yuan Ti. This all looks very undead themed. I see a lot of glowing green eyes and skeletal arms and stuff. I'm excited for that. I love undead stuff. Undead make the game fun. That's why I have so many skeletons. You need a lot of skeletons if you want to field a skeleton army of the undead. And there is Cleavy the Keen. Cleavy the Keen, the Tiny Fiend. Cleavy the Keen, the Tiny Fiend. Cleavy the Clean. Blah, blah. That's a hard one to say. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so I'm seeing kind of a Lovecraftian skull motif, which I am here for. I don't know how these boxes go together, but I will figure that out. We will get our shot of that. And then 2 maps. So I thought I ordered a Dungeon Master screen, but maybe that's coming in a separate shipment. I know there were delays with this shipment, just in general. So what are we looking at here? Ooh, I see an eye in the center of a mass of tentacles. And that looks, based on the rest of the map, like it's some kind of altar at the end of a hallway. I can't even tell what this is. This might be the organs of a kraken, if I had to guess. Like we go into a kraken and have to deal with all of that stuff. Not necessarily a bad thing if that's what ends up happening. It is odd to me that they would go there immediately from a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids-esque sort of thing. That you would go from small people in a normal-sized world to normal-sized people in an oversized world. Yeah, all of this looks very organic interiors. So we're going to have to figure out how good my read on that is. And we're going to have to figure out how this goes together. And we're going to have to find out what all of these minis mean and all of these cards mean. And all of that information is going to be in here. So I'm going to give this a read through and I will let you know what I think after the break. This guy was interesting. There's a little bit of prelude, and then you are right in to what is essentially the biggest dungeon that they have included in one of these. A lot of these adventures feel kind of two-part. It's like you do some exploring, then there's a dungeon, you do some of this, then there's a dungeon. This has a hair of prelude just to kind of set the stage, and then all 4 maps that came with it run together as a single dungeon experience. It is the biggest dungeon I think I've seen these guys do. This was supposed to be a tiered staircase sort of thing. Since there's only the 1 terrain piece, I'm probably not going to do the studio shot for this video. The minis that came with So it turns out the reason that this box got delayed was that the custom minis for this scenario had been delayed from the people they were ordering from, and as opposed to delaying it any further, they just kind of threw in some stand-ins. So the 3D minis don't really have a ton of correlation to what's going on in the story, and you can see the skinny minis, and there was one assembled terrain piece, so it didn't seem worth it to do the whole studio shot for that. But it also means that keeping this a spoiler-free review, there's not too much more to say, honestly. It is a large, single dungeon encounter. It is neat, and one thing I do appreciate in here was it sets up some future antagonists. According to this, you should have all of the pieces of the Star Shard, which was kind of the MacGuffin that you were sent out on at the beginning of this whole plot line, from the first one of these to now. And it seems like you're finished, and that feels like the setup for a Legend of Zelda-esque twist of... I don't know, it's a very Zelda way of doing storytelling to first half of the story, get everything that you think you need to save the world, twist, okay, go get this other stuff that's actually going to do what you want it to do. So we'll see where this goes. I am curious. According to the end of this, by the time you've got everything assembled, the next step is going to be something to do with mermaids, which should be interesting. But yeah, so essentially very heavy undead theme. Essentially this... I wonder if I'm saying too much and it's going to be a spoiler. This might be a spoiler. The Kraken, or the Leviathan here that you're fighting, is an undead Leviathan which functions as the lair of a lich. And, you know, kudos to them. They're not just downgrading what a lich is capable of. Essentially, they have the scenario set up in such a way where the ticking time bomb of the Leviathan being about to crumble makes the lich go, I won't forget this, and run off to grab what he can before the Leviathan's destroyed. Which makes sense. At the level they've got you at for this is supposed to be level 4 characters who will hit level 5 at the end of the scenario. Those people cannot fight a lich. That's reasonable. So, I think this is really neat. I'm looking forward to where this story goes next. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Please share the video with a friend or several friends, and let me know in the comments if there's anything you'd like to see me draw in a future video. Later, y'all!